Why'd we get? I love that one too, John.
Which one? How come I can never go
Yep.
the right way?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Yeah, that's Namibia,
yeah, that's a good one.
the,
Good one.
the the country that you can't pronounce.
You can't. And that's been done many times by many people, but that's from what I know, a pretty unique perspective with that front tree. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I like it, and I liked it in black and white too. It's a pretty color picture.
Oh,
Interesting. Talk about that just for a second. It's a little diversion from what we planned to talk about. It was interesting. I just did a follow-up Zoom session as we do with our groups that go with us. We always do about 3, 4 weeks later. We do a follow-up Zoom session. People show 10 images from the trip we did with them. And it was fascinating because one participant this time chose to show a black and white and a color version of the same. So all 10 of hers had both.
huh.
And the comment that was made at the end by one specific person really was good because she tends to be only a color photographer. And her comment at the end of seeing those was, holy cow, is black and white more powerful in a number of those images. It was
A new
really
convert.
fascinating.
All
Hey,
right. A
yeah.
new convert.
Say that again.
A new convert.
Yeah, convert to black and white, but seeing that comparison of and that's when I do my black and white presentation for clubs. I do a lot of that now. I show a color, I show the black and white, and then I show them next to each other so you can really gauge your feeling to what they're looking like. But anyways, that was a little sidestep here. Something that you and I both noticed recently with our 833, and by now, because of that great episode you did last week on simplification, I bet we've got
Right?
834.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, but what we noticed, and it just irks us, so we need your help again. We did an episode on when do you buy a new camera? And I kid you not, we have more comments on that episode than any other episode I think we've ever done.
It's crazy. Let me
So
see.
why is it that when we do a gear show, Jason specifically decides he's got to what? I think that's what's happening. Jason is going to his friends in that camera club and saying, "Hey, just to tick off John and Cole. Oh, I'm sorry, Cole and John. Tick off Cole and John. Get it right. I know. Go comment. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Why are we drawn to equipment? I mean, I am too. I mean, it's fun stuff, but it's not the important stuff. It ought to play a supporting role to the real thing, which is the image. Nothing else matters. It's the image. And I've thought about how many people are in love with focus and focus stacking and sharpness. And I'm thinking, I can't think of a single one of my images that I could say would be made better because I had a higher resolution camera or a sharper lens. It's all relatively irrelevant, except for certain forms of photography, which I grant you, birders have specific needs, and there are some others. But for the most part, people who are pursuing their work as art, as a form of expression, none of that really matters.
Yeah, and there were some comments that I liked a lot. Comments that talked about they were very specific in their evolution of why they bought a new camera, and it did appear IBIS, in body image stabilization was, and because maybe they were getting older or they started to develop some shaking, right, with age or what tremors. So yeah, that technology all of a sudden allows them not to have a tripod, allows them to handhold. So those are good reasons. But I would agree that my upgrade was from a 26 megapixel to a 40 megapixel. The only reason I did that is because my 26 megapixel camera died and it was going to cost me $900 to fix it. So I spent an extra $1,500 and got a new camera rather than fix a three generational camera. But I would agree with you. I have not found one image where I'm going, yeah, baby, sure, I'm glad I have 40 megapixels on that image because I never would have even taken it with that 26 megapixel camera, which is
But
not true.
why do we love to talk gear or process? Do we spend as much time and as much enthusiasm on talking about vision or the creative process. I mean,
We do, but I'm not sure many other than us. Maybe,
Brooks, I mean, that's Brooks's thing. That's
well, that's true. There are a number, yeah.
son, yeah.
And Sarah Marino certainly comes to mind. She's all about, the image too. And there's many. I'm being somewhat facetious on that.
And then after going through the felt method, I've been trying more and more to say, how should I look at this image? Instead of looking at it and saying, oh, great composition. Oh, great sharpness. Oh, great contrast there, John. Oh, I
Yeah.
like what you did with those two little backgrounds. What she taught me, and which I have to keep reminding myself, is to say, how does that image make me feel? Not do I like it or don't I like it? Not to judge its technical merits, but to say, how does it make me feel? That's all that matters. And I like
Yeah.
that approach.
Yeah, that makes sense. So again, we're looking for our audience here to, and what's going to happen is it's probably going to be the most comments ever telling us why they like to talk about gear. And if it is, we may need to do more gear shows. Never going to happen.
Well, both of us, we both admit that we are also drawn to
Sure.
gears. But the question is why?
Yeah.
Why more so seemingly than the other stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good enough. Next, we'll see you in a few minutes.
You want to hit lens